Hello, welcome to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and this is Richard. So as of late, it's been really cold outside, and that along with the fact that my wife has our only vehicle for work, I've been stuck at the house, so I've been unable to go out and do a lot of outdoor stuff. But I have been doing considerably more with my martial arts, and I have and will be posting more of that on this channel as well. But in conjunction with my outdoors love and my martial arts, I am also going to branch out a little bit within my belief system, which is probably a little different than most people who watch my channel. I am going to make an assumption, which you should never do, but I'm going to anyway. Most likely, most people are of Christian faith. I am not. I don't have anything against any religion. I don't have anything against any belief. We'll say that. I don't have anything against anybody's belief system. So I'll say that right up front. But what I'm going to do today is I got a few notes here, so I'm gonna read some of the stuff from my notebook. And what I'm going to work on today is kind of defining where you fall within a belief system. So it's a couple yes/no questions basically, and this will give you a generalized idea of where you fall. And there's basically 6 different variations of this. Now, of course, there's plenty of wiggle room in between all of these little these 6 spots, but for the most part, I think most people will fall well within one of these 6 positions. So let's get started with this. All right. So for the first 2, we are going to place ourselves into one of these 2 categories. Either you are Gnostic or you're Agnostic, and the difference between those are, if you are Gnostic, and we're discussing a deity here, God, deity, whatever you choose, to higher power, whatever you choose to name it. That's pretty much what we're going to be discussing with this. So with Gnostic, you know without doubt, absolutely for sure, that it exists. Then you are considered Gnostic. Now, Agnostic, A meaning not, you're not sure, so you don't know. So if you're Agnostic, or most people call Agnostic, if you fall into that category, then you don't know for sure. You have no clue. You don't know. So you'll say, I have no idea. You know, I have no proof on either direction, so I'm not positioning myself. So if you are Gnostic, you are absolute, without doubt, positive for sure that there is a higher power, a God, a deity, whatever you want to call it. And if you're Agnostic, you will admit that you don't know. So you fall under those categories. Which one are you? So now we've defined whether or not you are Gnostic or Agnostic. Now let's determine whether you are a Theist, an Atheist, or a Deist. So there's 3 categories here. So you have to determine which one you are here. So a Theist believes in a deity, a God, a higher power, whatever you want to call it, who knowingly interacts with our world. So if you are a theist, you believe that there is a God, and this God interacts with our world. All right. If you're an atheist, then you do not believe in this God or higher power. You have no belief in it. Now, if you're a deist, you believe in a higher power, not necessarily a God or as most people would perceive the word God. Doesn't necessarily have to be a God, but a higher power. You believe in a higher power. You just believe that higher power does not have interaction or doesn't care about our world. So if you're a deist, you believe that there is a higher power, not necessarily God, and that this higher power doesn't care about us, doesn't interact with us, and may not even know we exist. Now, if you're a theist, you completely believe in a deity, and you believe for sure that they interact with us, or he or it, or whatever you define your God as. Now, if you're an atheist, then you do not believe in a God or a deity or a higher power whatsoever. So there's those three. So which one are you? Defined Gnostic and Agnostic. We've defined a theist, an atheist, and a deist. So now we're going to combine all those together. And this will give you your general stance on this topic. So I've just listed these, and I don't think I put them in any particular order, 1 through 6. And I'm going to read these here real quick and explain what they each mean, and then at the end of it, you decide which one you are. And I'll tell you which one I am. So number 1, and these are in no particular order, so number 1 isn't the best and number 6 isn't the worst. It's just the way I listed them. Number 1 is a Gnostic theist. A Gnostic theist knows there is a God. Period. They know it. Absolute, without doubt. An agnostic theist doesn't know that there is, but believes there is. Now, those two, when we talk deity, we're talking about a deity that knowingly interacts with us and in our world. So a Gnostic theist knows for a fact that there is a God and that God interacts with us. An agnostic theist doesn't know for sure, but believes there is, and believes that deity interacts with us. A Gnostic deist knows that there is a higher power. They're absolutely sure there is a higher power, but that higher power isn't necessarily defined as a God. An agnostic deist doesn't know that there's a higher power, but believes, but has a belief that there is a higher power. But that higher power doesn't necessarily know we exist, care we exist, and probably doesn't interact with us. So I'm going to repeat number 4 real quick. Agnostic deist will say they don't know if there's a higher power whatsoever. They don't know this for a fact. They don't know that there's no proof to say there is, there's no proof to say there isn't. But they believe that there is a higher power. But this higher power doesn't necessarily know or care that we exist. Okay, number 5 is an agnostic atheist. An agnostic atheist doesn't know if there's a God and really believes there's really no proof there is. So an agnostic atheist doesn't really know and lacks belief, but doesn't rule it out. And then you have number 6, which is a Gnostic atheist. A Gnostic atheist is absolutely sure, they know for a fact, there is absolutely no way other than there is no God. So there's the 6. Now, I'm a number 4, obviously. I'm an agnostic deist. I will admit I have no idea whether there is or isn't a deity or a higher power. I don't know. There's arguments on both sides on this one for me. You know, I can be convinced there is. I can be convinced there isn't. I really don't know. I want to believe that there is a higher power. I want to believe that. And I do believe that there is a higher power. But I personally don't think that this higher power is what the Christians see as God. And I only use the Christians not because I'm picking on them. It's just that generally people have an understanding about what Christianity believes more than other religions. So I use that as an example so you kind of understand. So I don't necessarily believe that it's a God. And also I really don't think that this higher power either knows we exist. I'm pretty sure that this higher power or powers don't really care we exist. And I'm also pretty sure that there is not a consistent or steady relationship between whatever created us and our world. I'm pretty sure that whatever it is doesn't really care, personally. But I do believe there is a higher power. I do believe that in some way, shape, or form, it wasn't just a plain accident. At least it wasn't a plain accident just happened. It could have been a plain accident, but it was caused by something living, existing, a being. So that's mine. That's me. I'm an agnostic deist. So I'm really curious at what you would consider yourselves. Now, Christianity in general, or I shouldn't even say in general, Christianity demands that you're a Gnostic theist. So if you're a Christian, you absolutely know for a fact, without doubt, there is a God, and that God interacts and plays a part in our world. So if you're a Christian, you pretty much have to be a Gnostic theist. I'm pretty sure they demand that. An atheist, you know, they just don't believe there is, period. There's absolute no belief. Now, I think both of those arguments are flawed because they're absolute. An atheist is absolutely sure there is no God. And a Gnostic theist is absolutely sure there is. I don't discount their belief that that's true. I just discount the fact that that's true. I hope you understand what I'm saying there. I'm not saying there is, I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying that there's really no proof, no matter what you want to tell yourself or what you want to try to tell other people. There is no real, honest, objectionable proof either way. So I think atheists are a little too staunch on their stance by saying, oh, there is not. And I think that Gnostic theists are in the same respect, but just on the opposite. Oh, yes, there is. You know, I'm right in the middle. I'm absolutely right in the middle. I don't know. I'm more than willing to admit the fact that I don't know. But I do believe. It's just that I don't believe that the Creator, a deity, God, a higher power, aliens, you know, whatever it is, I don't think that they interact with us, and I don't think that they care, and it's absolutely positive that there is a good chance they don't even know we exist. In my opinion, there's a good chance. So anyway, leave your comments. I'd really like to know how you identify yourself. Gnostic Theist, Agnostic Theist, a Gnostic Deist, an Agnostic Deist, an Agnostic Atheist, and a Gnostic Atheist. So there you go. And if you have to rewind and kind of get an idea what those were, if you didn't already answer that. So I'd really like to see the comments below and see what you think about this. So thank you for watching Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and enjoy the outdoors, even if it's just your own backyard. Oh, one more thing. I would personally like to do more on my belief system on my channel. Now, I hear people constantly say, do whatever you want, it's your channel, you know, it's your channel, do what you want, da 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 da, which is true, which is fine. But if the people watching don't want to watch it, then I have no reason to post it. So my belief system may make some people uncomfortable. My belief system is absolutely not accepted by a lot of people. So if you would absolutely stop watching my channel if I started posting more stuff on my belief system, let me know, because if it's going to make you that uncomfortable, I won't do it. I will say that as being an agnostic deist, that's just a broad thing. I generally consider myself pagan. I used to consider myself Wiccan, but I've gotten away from that when I realized that I don't necessarily hold to a couple of their standards, being an acceptance of deity. Wiccans definitely accept that deity exists. It just doesn't necessarily mean it's the Christian one. And also another important aspect of Wicca that is very staunchly told that, you know, you need to identify with, or it's not really considered Wicca, is the celebrations. I don't have anything against the celebrations, and I completely enjoy the aspect of a ritual symbolizing the changing of nature and of the seasons, but I don't really celebrate any holidays. I am of the mind that if you make every day special, you don't need special days. So that's kind of how it is for me. So I don't know if I necessarily identify as a Wiccan. When I first started my practice back in 1995, 96, that was really the only term that was used. So I kind of just went with the flow and accepted that term. And the word witchcraft was back then, it was kind of almost a dirty word. Actually, it was kind of a dirty word back then. But I'm definitely pagan. I use the term witch, and I even can identify somewhat to the term of Wicca, but I don't know if I really fit anywhere in particular. So anyway, enough of rambling. So let's get the typing down there, guys. Give me your views on this. So again, thank you for watching Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and enjoy the outdoors, even if it's just your own backyard.